Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the 2020 census and how it's going to affect the 2022 House elections. So this is the current House map, the congressional map, and as you can see, the Democrats have control. I'm sure many of you know that. So this map will be getting switched here soon because the census is going to be approved, and then each state will have to redistrict. So this is how each state goes about their redistricting. The red states, the Republicans control the state legislatures and therefore get to decide how they will reapportion their districts in their state. So you have Utah, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, and New Hampshire, all controlled by the Republicans, and they will get to decide how their districts will be laid out. The Democrat controlled states here that will decide how their districts are laid out are Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, Maryland, Illinois, New Mexico, Nevada, and Oregon. The gray states here, they only have one district, and so they don't have to worry about redistricting because they just have an at-large district. And then the green states are independent commissions, which are supposed to be nonpartisan, and sometimes they're not, but most of the time they're nonpartisan commissions. And the states that have those are Virginia, Michigan, Colorado, Arizona, California, Idaho, and Washington. And then in the yellow states, you have split control. So the Republicans and Democrats work together to create a redistricting map or a reapportion map that suits both of them. And that is in Louisiana, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Maine. Okay, now I'll go to the next graphic. And here you see the green states, again, are independent commissions. And then in the purple states, so the state legislature in all these states are Republican. And they will have to pass their redistricting plan. And then if the governor decides to veto the plan, the state legislature can have a vote and they can override the veto with a simple majority. And then in New Jersey and Hawaii, you have a politician commission that decides how to redistrict or comes up with the plan. In Connecticut and North Carolina, you have the state legislature passing the redistricting plan, and the governor has no say. And then in the blue states, which are the majority of the states, the state legislature passes the plan for redistricting, but the governor has to approve of the plan. Okay, next I'll come to this graphic, and this does a really good job of showing how each state is going to be gaining or losing House seats. This is not confirmed yet, as the 2020 census is not confirmed, but this is likely how it will come out. Texas is expected to gain 3 seats. Florida gains 2. North Carolina, Colorado, Arizona, Oregon, and Montana all gain 1 House seat. California, Minnesota, Illinois, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and Rhode Island will all be losing 1 House seat. And this overall benefits Republicans because you have Republican states like Arizona, Montana, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, all gaining seats. Well, Arizona, Joe Biden did win, and they have 2 Democratic senators. It's very much still a conservative state. And then you have Democrat states like California, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, New York, and Rhode Island losing seats. So this is not a great scenario for the Democrats in 2022. Here's another graphic just to demonstrate how the redistricting is done in each state, but it's essentially the same as this. So the Republicans, as you can see here, they just need to gain 5 seats in 2022 in order to have control of the House and take away the Democratic trifecta in the federal government. Through redistricting alone, they can get those 5 seats. I'm expecting, since the party that has the presidency typically does poorly in the midterms, which is the Democratic Party, I'm expecting the Republicans to gain some seats if they can really unify and don't continue the civil war they're currently in. If they can really unify, they'll likely be able to gain back the House. Okay, so these with gerrymandering, it's a really big problem in the country, and many states do it. I'll show you some examples of the worst gerrymandered states. As you can see on this map here, it's hard to see all the different districts, but frankly, some of the districts are silly looking. Like in Alabama, they have this district here that almost has arms. It stretches out down south and then up north and goes over to the east. It's a silly looking district meant to help the Republicans have more House seats. So here's a couple examples of the worst gerrymandered states. Ohio, the 3rd district, it's barely connected together. Same with the 13th district and the 11th. The 9th district, it doesn't look so bad in this graphic, but it's on the water and is really a disconnected district. And then in Illinois, you have Chicago, where it looks as if the districts are enveloping one another in the 4th district and the 5th. You have the same thing in Maryland, where you have this 3rd district barely connected, the 2nd district and 4th district, basically the same thing. And one of the big problems with the gerrymandering is you're almost suppressing some of the vote. Like in the 6th district here in Maryland, this entire part of the state over here, this arm that stretches out west, it's solidly Republican. But here in Montgomery County, you have many Democrats. It's much more compact and urban. So the Democrats, they overturn the Republican vote in this whole part of the state, and the 6th district is therefore a Democratic district. And that's really not a great thing for the country. And unfortunately, when you look at this map, there's every state here that is either blue or red is biased when they're redistricting because they're trying to benefit their party. And that practice, it's just not helpful. So this is all I had to say. This is my prediction for the 2022 House election, that the Republicans will likely, if they can unify, they'll likely gain back the House because they're gaining so many seats through the census, and these seats will be able to be manipulated by the Republican state legislatures. And so thank you for watching, and please subscribe.